Good evening. I am the author K.M. Harrell, and I'm here today to promote my debut novel entitled Nyira and the Invisible Boy, about a young Congolese sorceress who hides in the jungle to escape slave hunters and is befriended by a young gorilla. The story takes place in 1760 and involves friendship, adventure, magic, and death, and is for teens through adults. And I'm going to read you a little section of it, so let me take a little bit of water here. Nyira, near the Congo River, 1760. The Makani crept across the Iguni Plateau while our village was asleep. Their medicine man shrouded them in the mist, but Nyira's father, Ahmed, could smell the mistmen in his sleep. He awoke. "Get up, child," he whispered to her. Nyira loved how her father appeared in her dreams, as a butterfly, or a raindrop, or as the wind. It was his way of not startling her from her sleep. Such an act could damage a child's spirit and fuel nightmares. This time he was himself, tall and lean, wearing his blue cotton sleeping robes. "You must hide, child," he said, without smiling. "Wake now!" A shadow rose behind him. "Papa?" When she sat up, she heard people running and screaming. She rushed to the door of her hut and saw some of the village structures were ablaze. She ran to the well at the center of the village and almost couldn't get through. All her people were pushing and fighting past the square, trying to escape the fire and the Makani. Her only thought was to get to her father. When she finally broke through, Ganji, the chief's massive wife, reached out and caught her by the arm. "You're going the wrong way, child! Let me go! I have to find Papa!" "No, Nyira, we must leave." She snatched the 7-year-old up and tucked her onto her hip. Nyira was enveloped by Ganji's coconut oil aroma as she disappeared into the folds of her kente robe. "Please, Ganji, Papa woke me from my dream, and there was a shadow behind him." She kicked and squirmed. "If you don't behave, I will pull a reed," said Ganji. "You must escape, Nyira. The slavers are Ganji's grip slackened, and Nyira slid from her grasp. When she fell over, Nyira saw a red spear with yellow lines painted on it, protruding from Ganji's back. She also saw the warrior who threw it. He stood beside a burning lodge, about 20 feet away, an almost 7-foot, heavily muscled ebony man, painted with yellow, white, and bright green upon his chest, shoulders, and thighs. When they locked eyes, he said, "Come here, girl." Nyira turned and fled down the path to the jungle. She felt the warrior's footsteps as he pursued her. "Don't make me chase you, girl," he snarled. "I will be angry if you make me chase you." The heat of him was on her back, and just as he lunged to grab her, she darted into the darkness of the bush. He wouldn't follow her there. No one went into the jungle at night, not even warriors. They hunted there during the day, and the women of her village collected the banana and coconut and other fruit from its many trees, but they always left before sundown. Only Nyira, the medicine man's strange daughter, who had no mother to teach her better, ventured into the hot, teeming blackness. She stopped about 30 yards into the foliage. The warrior had stopped as well, right at the edge of the darkness. "The jungle is not safe for a child," he said. "Come out, girl." He sounded almost pleading. Nyira wasn't listening, and the blur of her tears made the village's burning huts appear distorted. Where was Papa? Why couldn't she hear his mind? She stood still and closed her eyes. "Papa, where are you?" An image appeared to her, though it wasn't very substantial. It was as if her father had turned into a kind of smoke, like she was dreaming. This was no dream. He wore the cream-colored garments he preferred when traveling in the spirit realm. "Nyira, my daughter," he said, "don't hide in the jungle too long. I don't want you to get wild. I know you could hide forever if you chose to. Don't, my princess. There was a place you must go. You'll know when it's time to let them take you. I love you." When she came out of her trance, the warrior held her in his embrace. His smell was sweaty, with the thick musk she knew was fear. "You didn't go far enough, girl. Now you will Something bumped him. It was huge, but smooth, and there was more than one. He looked around him. His eyes got wider. Nyira watched the warrior's face in the darkness. She had moon vision. That's what her papa called it. So she only needed a minute amount of light to make out his expression. He had beautiful eyes, not the green of a sorcerer, a light hazel, like Ganji or some of the other women of her village. The big thing bumped him again. The warrior's musk got stronger, and the sweat of his brow fell onto her face like large raindrops. "Let me go," she told him, kicking and wriggling. "No, you are mine. I will." The thing hit them harder and knocked him off his feet. She broke away then, but he stood, breathing fast as he reached for her. What was... The thing smacked him again. It knocked him flat. Ah! Stop! Stop it! He jumped up, took out a knife, and slashed at the darkness. His sweat glistened in the moonlight. The thing let out a low, booming growl. The warrior backed away, trembling. He then turned his head toward the opening at the edge of the jungle, and Nyira could see he thought there was a chance. "Don't run," said Nyira. He wasn't listening. "You won't..." He bolted for the clearing. He barely made 5 steps and was ripped back into the blackness. They tossed him around like a straw juju doll. "Help me!" he screamed. "Stop it! Help!" Nyira heard him make Nyira turned her head away. She heard him make a gurgling sound from his throat, then nothing. She turned and moved further into the jungle, but the thing bumped her now. She smelled the warrior's fear on it. There was a rumbling moan, so deep it vibrated the ground, and then a huff. She reached out and touched it. A heavy, muscled form rolled itself around her. "Abu," she admonished. "You were bad." "Brother, see, run," grumbled Abu. "Should not run. Get not moving. Can't have it." Nyira fought back tears, thinking about Ganji lying face down with a spear in her back. "Yes," she said. "Take him." Okay. Well, hopefully you found that entertaining. And maybe I'll do another little one after this, do another section. But thank you. And my name again is K.M. Harrell, and this is Nyira and the Invisible Boy.